Welcome to Chattin 88. If you're just tuning in, hey, that's great. Every single week we have a guest. That's right. Spending time with me. Spending time with me. Spending time with me is the best. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chattin 88. I am your lovely and amazing host, Curtis LaBelle. What a fabulous show we have going on here tonight. This guest, Gizelle de Guzman, this is the second time for the first time that she's been with us. We're going to bring her on, and our topic for tonight is song collaboration. She also is an amazing singer-songwriter here in our lovely country of Canada. She has her new single out, Almost Home, and a few other songs. I shouldn't say a few other songs. She's got quite the roster of music that's kicking up on Spotify and a bunch of other places, and we're going to bring her on here in a moment. But before we do, a quick announcement. I think things are looking quite green on the other side of the fence here in Alberta, and who knows what's going to be happening for the rest of the country, but we might be able to perform live with no restrictions in front of any bad memories, in front of anything we don't want to. We have the opportunity to really get back to performing in front of live audiences. And you know what? I can't think of a better excitement than to say that's very exciting. Let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's come together. Get your vaccination if that's for you. If not, that's okay too. And just, let's work together as a team. That's what's important. Working together so that we can get back to, you know what? I have tickets to Celine Dion in August. So let's be sure that we do that because they have been postponed twice over. So let's make sure that we do what we got to do because I want to go see Celine Dion. Speaking of Celine Dion, I have nothing to say because I don't know. However, I can certainly say this much. I have some amazing, great things happening for myself in music, but I would like to share with you a new song that's going to be coming out on my album in 2022 for my Canadian tour for 3 months across the country. That's going to be exciting. This is a song that I wrote the other day. It has been nonstop in my head. It is called On the Gun. Here is On the Gun. I hope you enjoy it. And let's spread the message again that if we can keep up what we're doing, hopefully I will be able to perform this in front of you live one day. Who knows? On the Gun. Through the heat of the thunder and the rain, only we can be together if we feel the pain. Take me back slowly, take me back slowly. You're not there when I need you, you keep playing a game. Until you walk away, there's no place to run. Only you can pull the trigger on the gun. Through the night we can feel each other, searching for the heart that we've broken to. Hold on to each other, hold on to each other. You're not there when I need you, a game of guess who. Until you walk away, there's no place to run. Only you can pull the trigger on the gun. Till you walk away, till you walk away, on the gun. Till you walk away, there's no place to run. Only you can pull the trigger on the gun. Oh, I have to tell you, if you're clapping, fabulous. If you're not, that's okay. If you like it, let's see some hearts. If you don't, let's see some thumbs up. I love it. I just finished rehearsing it with my drummer. Going to be doing it with my bass player here pretty soon. Again, it's still in the works, so there's some things we got to work out. But, one of the biggest topics that I'm going to be talking about with my guest tonight is song collaboration. And I have had I have a project with this lovely artist that we have going on probably for about 8 years now. No, it hasn't been 8 years, but let's talk about the importance of it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my guest tonight, Gizelle de Guzman.
Well, hello. I love that new song you're working on. I'm so excited to hear the final product.
Oh, thank you, my friend. It is, it's how I played it is a little bit different than what we're working on, but you know the process. It evolves, right? It's an evolution thing. Gizelle, this is a moment in history right now. This is the second time for the first time. I keep saying that because for our viewers who... Can I tell the story?
Yeah, sure. I feel really bad.
No, you don't feel bad because you know what I have to say. As an artist, with the amount of work that you do, it amazes me every time I turn around on social media. I see another collaboration. You're like the collaboration queen, and when it comes to doing so much work, we tend to get tired and we need to rest and we need to make sure that we are rejuvenated. So Gizelle was to be one of our guests back in February. And we're now in May, and it was a great experience. And you can go and watch that show. It was a very short show, unfortunately for us, but good for her. We started the show, and we were waiting, and Gizelle slept through the show.
I was taking a little nap, and I woke up
which ended up being quite some time, right?
I missed it.
Honestly, we don't hold it against you here at Chattin 88s. I don't hold it against you. I can certainly say this much. This is what matters. Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Gizelle de Guzman. Gizelle, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? And kind of a little history about your music path and how you got to where you are.
For sure. My name is Gizelle de Guzman, for people who don't know. I was born in the Philippines, but I grew up in Alberta, a small town called Cremona. There's 500 people there. But I moved here in Nova Scotia. Now I'm doing music and working on cars at the same time. And yeah, for music, I've always been music is a really big part of our culture. In my family, I have 5 siblings. We're all very musical. I'm the youngest, so I've always just kind of followed along what my siblings were doing, and my parents were kind of playing around with. And yeah, here I am. I'm writing my own songs. I started really writing poetry when I was in kindergarten and developed that and added melodies to it. And I didn't really want to take it seriously, or I didn't want it to be my job, because I just wanted it to be kind of organic and as a healthy coping skill for my mental illness. But I guess it kind of just happened organically that I'm still constantly creating and loving it and meeting new people and releasing new tunes as well. As Curtis had mentioned earlier, I had recently released a new song called Almost Home, and it's basically about my homesickness and after moving here in Nova Scotia, and it's how I felt seeing the landmarks after being able to visit home after 2 years, because I wasn't able to visit. And yeah, if you want to check it out after this show, you can check it out on any streaming platforms. It's you can find Almost Home through my name, Gizelle de Guzman.
Absolutely, and we will definitely make sure that we'll share all those posts and keep everybody up to date on all of that jazz and everything you've been doing. Now you're gonna sing a couple songs for us tonight, and I'm hoping maybe that Almost Home is going to be one of them. I don't know. We'll leave that up to you. However, it is a great music video, but with doing all of the work that we do as artists, and we'll get to song collaboration in a second, but you talked about mental health for a second there, and that is such a it's such an important topic right now, especially for artists in our area and our genre, what we're doing. I mean, it's all around, it's an encompassing thing for everybody. But for you, what have you done recently to tackle a mental health, I don't want to say issue, but a concern or something that has brought you down? And what have you done as an artist to bring yourself back up? And what sort of advice can you give to a couple of artists out there that may be going through the same thing?
Yeah, for sure. I've definitely been struggling a lot lately, but I try to reach out to my friends and do a lot of writing. That's really helping me, keeping myself busy and out of trouble. Making sure that I'm meeting my basic needs. Honestly, that is really important. Food, water, and just socializing with people. It's amazing how much those little things can really change your mood and impact how you're living your life, kind of thing.
Can I interrupt you for a
do.
second? I think what's really important as well is to remember, and that you have, let's talk about your, it's not just you doing it. We have to rely, it's very important for us to rely on people. Tell us about your support group.
Absolutely. So you mentioned my music video. Actually, I want to talk about that a little bit. Because a big part of my support group right now is actually the people that sponsored the music video. I wrote Almost Home because I felt really lonely, and I was just really missing Alberta and what I was familiar with, and my friends and my dad, seeing all the places I grew up in. But when I was working on the music video, I really felt like I wasn't gonna be able to make it through because I felt lonely. But I kind of came across so many people who are more than willing to help out, sponsor the video in so many ways. The video was sponsored by 7 different individuals and businesses. And there was 3 behind the scene photographers, and it was just a lot of helping hands that I didn't really expect. And all these people have kind of grown to be my family here in Nova Scotia. And it's really incredible how it's kind of just become a full circle of, feeling like I'm alone here, but realizing that there's really a whole lot of people who are there for me. And, the past little bit has been really difficult, but I just have to keep in mind that there's people who I can reach out to. And I tend to be really shy and really scared of opening up to people, but that's definitely something that I'm trying to kind of get out of.
You could have fooled me, Gizelle. Let me tell you, that is from the moment I met you, I knew you were out of your shell, and you were definitely, putting your best foot forward and giving your best in all your music. Speaking of giving their best, we have, if you take a look at the screen, I'll show them. You have support from the Philippines tonight. I believe family is watching.
Yeah.
This is
Thank
very
you so
exciting.
much.
Again, give us a follow on Chattin 88s, as well as be sure to follow Gizelle de Guzman on all of her platforms. This is absolutely fantastic. Before we talk about song collaboration and the ups and downs of it and the highly important parts of it, because I think all artists should be doing it as you are on top of it more than anybody else that I know in the industry, and it's amazing. Can you bring us into an amazing song for us, my dear? What are you going to sing for us? Give us the name of it. Take it away and serenade us.
Yes, for sure. I was not really thinking about doing a song collaboration for my first song, and I hope that is okay. This one's called Kerosene. We met down by the river, in the summer time. Skinny dipping in the water. Oh, these memories I do recall, I bet you don't remember. Risking for each other, like you're climbing up my window so we never get caught. 'Cause my mama and papa never approved ya. I wish I knew better. You burn me like a kerosene. Now there's nothing left of me, no signs of life. You told me you would never leave, but the truth is you were way long gone, right from the start. When you took me by the altar, oh, you promised me, baby, we'll last forever. But I felt the love was slipping. No, you didn't think I would be there, but boy, I caught you with the well, my mama and papa, they never were proof, yeah. I wish I knew better. You burn me like a kerosene. Now there's nothing left of me, no signs of life. You told me you would never leave, but the truth is you were way long gone, right from the start. Burn, burn, burning heart, burn, burn, burning heart, must burn, burn, burning heart, burn, burn, burning heart. You burn me like a kerosene. Now there's nothing left of me, no signs of life. You told me you would never leave, but the truth is you were way long gone. You burn me like a kerosene. Now there's nothing left of me, no signs of life. You told me you would never leave, but the truth is you were way long gone, right from the start. We met down by the river in the summer
G sharp minor. Oh, thank you for sharing that. That's a beautiful song. I don't think is that on your Spotify? I'm pretty sure
No,
that's on your
that's not
Spotify.
released anywhere. I do enjoy performing this. One thing I wanted to bring up is I do a lot of solo writing as well.
Yes, you do.
Collaborations.
You absolutely do.
However, a lot of I wanted to bring up that a lot of my songs are based on my experiences and other people's experiences that I've talked to, I've worked with, I've helped out with through their mental illness journeys, and it's really based on real life experience and trying to help other people get better, I guess, through listening to my songs and trying to make myself feel better after an experience that I've gone through.
You're almost like like a counselor for musicians through collaboration and yourself as well. I mean, the journey is never ending, and the education and the development of who we are as a person, not just an artist, is ever evolving and shaping who we are. speaking of shaping and evolving and the collaboration process, let's talk about that. I would like you to list off, if you can. Now, we have collaborated together, and we're still working on a project, and
we need to finish that soon.
We do need to finish it. I hear you.
It is so close to the finish line.
And that's the thing, commitment and going through the finish line. Don't, stay right through it. And being the fact that we're both busy artists, that's no excuse, Curtis. So let's definitely do that. We'll reconnect, and then we'll do another era of it, maybe on Chattin 88s. So take 5 steps. If we could put it down to 5 steps, what are the 5 steps and the process and the important parts of song collaboration? Like, what would be the first step, the second step, third step, fourth step, and then fifth step? And what are some important things that we should know on doing it? I remember one important thing that you taught me. I learned a lot from song collaboration working with you, and another reason why I'm excited. So what would those be in your opinion?
I think it would start with getting to know the artist. If you want to work with them, if you kind of like writing about the same topics and stuff like that, if you have similarities, once you're in the writing room with them, whether it's an actual room or a virtual meeting, getting to know each other is really important, because that way it kind of opens up ideas of what you're going to be writing about. Sometimes you start from scratch, and you kind of you just feel the same thing about something, and you write from nothing to something. And sometimes other artists already have a clear vision or idea of what they want to write that day, and that's cool too. But after knowing the direction of what you want to write about, it's really important to map out the song, and just giving it a clear idea of how you're going to. Sorry?
So I was just going to say, when you say map out a song, explain that to us.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess trying to figure out, okay, like what's going to be on the first verse, what's going to be on the second verse, what's on the chorus. And this doesn't have to be lines. These are just ideas, just to make sure that, in the end, it's all going to be cohesive. And it's gonna be a song that makes sense, kind of thing. And it's really important because you're 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people writing in the room, whatever. And whatever that number is. And you don't really know what's happening in someone else's mind, so it's really important to kind of have it all laid out so that you're all on the same page, kind of starting off, like right from the beginning.
Okay, I don't know if we stayed on the steps or not, but it's just there's a lot of I think time management is one of the biggest things. And also there's a lot of question, and if any of our viewers have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll bring them up onto the screen as well for Gizelle, song collaboration, anything of the sorts that you have. And I'm sure we'll get Gizelle to answer them for you. Or if I happen to know an answer to it, I'll give my 2 cents on it. But I know that a lot of artists, there's a couple of things, in my opinion, based off of my experience, so don't believe a word I say. I know there's a lot of artists that don't like song collaboration because they just feel like they want to own the lyrics, they want to own the music, they want to own the arrangement, they want to do all of that, they want to take that in. And I think that mentality just limits how much more they can do as an artist. And we all know that not just with song collaboration with artists, song development requires a team, all the way from management to publicity to booking to your fans to everything. It's an evolution process. You put the song out and it's birthed, and you let it do its thing. So whenever we have songwriters come together, Gizelle, we want to make sure everybody gets paid, and we want to make sure that people get the credit where credit's due. How many lyrics, how do you break up, if you can explain to us how you break up the percentage in your experience, in your advice, okay, I did this much time on the lyrics. This is how much money I make. I wrote this part of the chorus. I wrote this in chords. It's this chord progression. How do you arrange all of that to make sure that everybody gets their fair share?
Yeah. So typically it's really 50-50. There's a lot of cases though that I've worked with a few different people. We'd either share it equally, or sometimes we'd be like, oh, if this chorus is so powerful, and she wrote the whole entire thing for that, so then she'd get a little bit more percentage for that. Sometimes there's a lot of people and not everyone has equal time commitments or just commitment in general to the project, and we divide it. We divide the percentages according to the time commitment that was put in.
So it's extremely important then to make sure that there's one person, like I guess you could say, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. If you were in like a board, that person that
putting minutes or something,
Yeah, the person who's taking minutes with making sure, okay, we've song written for 2 hours today. 3 out of the 5 of us showed up, and just take notes of how many hours each person is, add that all up, divide it by a percentage.
Right. And I've only done that, I'd say 4 or 5 times, and they're usually in bigger projects, because it's so difficult to, coordinate a time for everyone to get together and stuff like that. And some people just decide to opt out halfway through the project, and a lot of different cases kind of happen that affect the different percentages of the
at that point, if we started working on if we were working on a song, and then all of a sudden, let's say, I don't know, a little bit in, a person who's contributed X amount of time, or a lyric or two and a chord progression here, etc., and they've decided to opt themselves out, what's the best way to approach that? Ask the person if they'd like to stay in and get a percentage, or are they just going to kind of bow out completely and take no credibility for it?
So I've only, we have this scenario, but I also have a different scenario. I had one other scenario pertaining to that, and we tried to reach out to him, but he didn't really respond. So I already have him as a shareholder on SoCan. So what we decided was just give him the percentage that he had in the beginning, instead of, because he never responded to us.
Right.
So we still gave him the percentage, just because he worked with us and he deserved a piece of what we worked on. But it was also not fair to, be ghosted. And so we kind of just gave him what we thought was fair for all the effort that he'd put in.
And I think that's I don't know the arrangement, but I think that's fair. And I think the most important thing is to communicate. You're not just collaborating on a song, but you as artists, it's extremely important for us to communicate with each other so that we can keep it fair. I'm not a big fan of the word fair, because if this person gets a donut and that person doesn't, does that mean it's not fair? But to keep the the musicality, the professionalism, and you never know when you work with somebody. Again, in this industry, you don't know who you're going to run into or who you're going to write. So you could write a hit with 5 people, or just that other person. On average, Gizelle, how many songs in a month do you say that you put out as a song collaboration, and then compared to how many songs you do as a solo artist? Because you you love working on your own as well.
Yes, I think that I go through phases. I go through phases of me just wanting my own time to write for myself, and I'd be writing every day. Sometimes I'd be writing a couple tunes a day by myself, and then I'd go through phases where I just wanna collaborate to get my my solo brain running, and once I'm done with that phase, I kind of go back to wanting to write again. I'd say I on average, if I was doing them at the same, like, in the same amount kind of thing, I would probably say that I do like 75-25, like percentage wise. I would either focus on collaborating 75% and then write 25% of that time by myself, or I'd just flip it over and I'd write more by myself, and then 25% of the time I'd be song collaborating.
So it's all based off of your emotion and your feelings for that day, or however it works out.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Or again, how much you have scheduled, because you have a tight. I mean, I've seen a glimpse of your Google Calendar, and it is filled. And I'm pretty sure it just keeps filling up and filling up. I want to talk about a couple of great things that are happening for you here in the upcoming months. I'm not too sure what it's like on your neck of the woods for restrictions or anything like that. But before we do, before we talk a little bit more about Almost Home, can you please take us into your second song? Tell us what it is, give us a little bit about it, and take it away, my dear friend.
Well, I mean, before we talk about Almost Home, I guess I might as well play it for you.
You mean, you are going to do that?
I am going to do Almost Home. I was just kidding earlier. Curtis was like taking me too seriously. Oh, here's Almost Home. This town never felt like it fit me. This place has always felt so small. Didn't think I really belonged here till I've been gone so long. I was tired of doing the same things. Felt like I needed some kind of change. So I wanted to follow my calling, and so I walked away. Yeah, I walked away. One more long stretch of highway, gonna take this four-wheel ride. Now the 12 songs on my iPhone, 2 more towns to fly by. I can see the familiar places, feel something warm inside. It's been way too long, I'm almost home. Never noticed how much this time made me into the person I am. Didn't think I really would miss this, but here I am, heading back now. Yeah, I'm heading back now. One more stretch of highway, gonna take this four-wheel ride. Now the 12 songs on my iPhone, 2 more towns to fly by. I can see the familiar places, feel something warm inside. It's been way too long. Whoa. It's been way too long. I'm almost home. Now the 12 songs on my iPhone, 2 more towns to fly by. I can see the familiar places, feel something warm inside. It's been way too long, I'm almost home.
Oh, girl. That's so exciting. Thank you for sharing that with us. It is a pleasure to always, we get the release, we watch the music video, we blast it on Spotify, we're driving. It's a great song to be driving to, by the way. It's absolutely amazing. Blast it in the truck all the time. But to see the artist play it acoustically, there's nothing better. And I love acoustic concerts. A band is great and the energy, and I would give nothing. I mean, I would give nothing. Oh my goodness. I would give everything to play in front of 30,000 people every night, right? But to play an acoustic set with 15 people is just there's nothing more special than that, I think.
There's just some sort of a special intimacy that
oh, it is.
You don't really get from anything.
We may be virtual and we may be streaming to across the country. We have the Philippines watching tonight. I know we have London watching tonight. We have people down in the States as well. And of course, in our home country here, Canada.
There's someone in Alberta. I see that too.
Yeah, we have fans from all over the place and supporters for Chattin 88,
Yeah.
my great Canadian artists. Speaking of great Canadian artists, I'm on your website here, and I'm excited to see that you have some dates coming up here. I don't know what restrictions are like on your neck of the woods, but
I need to update my shows because we're on lockdown right now. And unfortunately, a lot of my live shows have been getting canceled.
you and me both, and everybody around the globe, I'm sure. But it is so nice to see that you have opportunities coming up all the way into September if we can. I know that if we can see you, if anybody is around, if these shows happen, and if we can get the check mark to go ahead wherever we are in the country, you'll be playing at Oak Island Resort and Conference Center in Western Shore, Canada, as well as the Nook and Cranny in Truro, Canada. I've never been there, but just really quickly, you book your shows?
Yes,
great.
I do.
How do you, if somebody wants to perform at the Oak Island Resort and Conference Center, what's your process? What's your step-by-step to get yourself in there?
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny because nowadays I don't really reach out to people anymore. But I used to, what I was doing was sending out my bios and how I got to know the venue. If I had any connections, that kind of gave me a head up in the with the people that are booking the venues. But nowadays I've actually kind of just laid low, and I've let people kind of book me and let me know if there's stuff happening. But yeah, if you want to get in like shows and have been itching to play something and have an audience, whether it's virtual or in person, if your city or town allows that right now, just send a quick email, do a little bit of research on the venue, make sure that it's the right fit for you and your genre, and visit. I also really like visiting the venue too. If I've never seen it before, if there's live music happening, I just want to check it out just to see if the venue is fit for me as an artist.
I agree. I think the research has to be done, especially like we are indie artists. We are wearing all the hats, and we're also the booking agent as well as the person who can hire and fire people. But at this point, right in time right now, we need as many people as we can. Gizelle, we've come to that time for our show tonight. You've been an amazing guest. I'm really glad that we got you on. You look fully rested. You didn't fall asleep, and life was great. Thank you for sharing Kerosene and Almost Home with us tonight. We appreciate it. If we would like to share your music, kind of Kermit the Frog there for a second, where are people going to go to follow you on social media, Spotify, Apple Music, all them places? What are we looking for?
For sure. You can check me out on Instagram, Facebook. I recently got myself TikTok. I have not posted anything because, I'm still learning. But you can check it out at Gizelle de Guzman Music. You can also check out my website at gizelledeguzman.com or giselle.ca if that's easier for you. You can also check out my music streaming on all streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes. You can check it out on YouTube, and it's just Gizelle de Guzman.
Awesome, my dear friend. Listen, I'm going to, we'll connect here in the short while, get our song finished and get that up so people can hear it, get it recorded, all that stuff. Not just collaborating, but there's also the next process of recording the song, getting it mixed and mastered and all that jazz. If you could give us, before you leave here, if you could give us a quick, short piece of advice for anybody who is wanting to song collaborate, book themselves into a show, or just anything of the genre, give us some advice for an artist who's just making it out in the world today.
Just go for it. Don't be afraid to, put yourself out there. It's going to be a difficult road, but as long as you keep chugging along and believe in yourself and really hang on to the support system that are going to believe in you and going to keep pushing you forward, it's going to be okay. You'll just have fun and enjoy the ride to wherever it takes you, honestly.
Did you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to be okay.
It's going to be a hard one, but, just keep pushing forward.
There is light at the end of the tunnel, and everything will pay off. Ladies and gentlemen, Gizelle de Guzman has been our guest for tonight. Thank you, Gizelle. I'm going to get you to bow out gracefully, and we will make sure that we get everybody to go to your music pages and your website and follow you and listen to your lovely music.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for everyone who's been watching. This show would not be possible if y'all were not watching. And Curtis, thanks for having me back again. I really, really appreciate it. Thanks for giving me
you're very welcome. And of course, this will be available on replay, Shaw Spotlight, our YouTube channel, and of course, our podcast channel on Spotify, Chattin 88s. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Gizelle de Guzman, thank you so much. We will see you the next time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's our show. We had a lot of fun, don't you know? Thank you for tuning in tonight. We had a lot of fun, that's right. Every single week we have a guest for spending time with me. I said spending time with me. I said spending time with me is the best. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We will see you next week with our very special guest, Donna Merrow, two-time Juno nominee, and who was also just recently nominated for Indigenous Artist at the WCMA Awards. Donna Merrow will be our guest. We will see you next week right here on Chattin 88s. Have a fabulous evening.